Good morning guys, what is up? I hope you're having an awesome day and welcome to the videos. I'm actually doing this intro after the fact because I was stupid and accidentally deleted all my footage. So I am stupid. Anyway, trust me, this video is long. It is sort of like a little bit more in depth but a little bit more raw than what I would normally film. So I hope you guys really like it. Today we are going and diving into the boot setup in the R33, making this thing look $1 million. And I can assure you, if you stick around for the end of the video, it looks $1 million. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy. So unfortunately, the only part of the car that has rust in at the moment is this bit in the boot right here, and that has made its way through all the way into our boot seals right here. So unfortunately, this bit right here has been letting in a little bit of water, and unfortunately, we've got a little bit of surface rust all throughout the boot here. But it's not all bad news. A couple of years ago, we actually dropped a whole bunch of oil in here. It leaked all out through the whole boot, and it's actually saved a lot of the rust. So it's actually been just sitting down here like a massive big R33 Japanese as OzDM sewer, and it hasn't actually gotten past a point where it's not repairable. It's actually perfect. So yeah, first of all, I'm going to see if I can get everything out of this boot. Jump cables. Use microfiber. Now that is another oil and water infused microfiber, a paper bag, and a receipt that I probably need for tax, but this just proves how long I've actually been up the coast. This is a Wild Bean Cafe pie bag, but it's the car hasn't been through Childers since it lived there. This is how long it's been since I've gone through the boot on this thing. Got random bits of styrofoam. Ooh, this is the best bit. Interesting. It's not overly bad actually. It'd probably still be used. And then the top of my jack as well. It's pretty gross. So that's pretty much it. It's actually not all bad. We do have a bit of like sound deadening in here as well, which I think I'm going to try and get out at the same time as well. But yeah, it's just like a whole big bunch of just disgustingness. That looks like I don't know what that is actually. A whole heap of solder in here from when I was doing some wiring. Yeah, it's just full of water as well, so I'm going to try and take this out, see if I can get as much water out as possible, and then give this thing a really good degrease, because it's just full of just oil and stuff. And yeah, another thing as well I noticed, completely forgot about these, but I actually have sub wiring in here. So looks like I have a remote wire and that, and I think it might actually be pretty cool if I could even just put a sub, you know, just up here in the boot, so that way I don't have to stress about putting one inside the car. But I guess I could just run these two lines back down through the car and actually put it underneath the seat. But it's nice to know that I already have some RCA cables already connected and basically ready to go for a sub, and the remote wire as well, so that's sick. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. So for now though, we're just going to tuck everything up the back there. I'm also going to take off all of these side panels here, so we can sort of make it a little bit nicer and line the whole boot. Unfortunately, this broke last time on me too, so big sad. Right, so the boot's looking pretty good. As you can see, it's just full of like water and just disgustingness and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try my best to get rid of all the water and soak it all up, degrease the hell out of it, and also push out all of the rubber grommets and everything that I need to, because I'm not going to be painting over them. And then just like getting little things out of the way, like this wiring right here. I had this box for the light up garnish that I have. I had that sort of sitting up and it was like dangling around, and originally it was double-sided taped up here, but it didn't stay for too long, so that's all like zip tied out of the way and doesn't make a noise anymore. And but yeah, you can see where stuff has leaked before, like stuff that I didn't know about at all, so I'm gonna have to get a wire wheel or something from Super Cheap and go along the top of all these lights and everything to make sure none of them are all yeah, I might even see if I can take out the tail lights themselves first and see if I can clean all that up as well, because I have to rust protect all that sort of stuff. It's like I hate going further in this car because I'm finding more little things like this little rust hole down here, and there you go, you can sort of see yeah, that one right there, you can see my finger there, but just little things like that. So yeah, that's all good. We'll take the tail lights out and we'll have a little bit more of a look. Alright, so I wasn't expecting to get this deep into the STD, but apparently we are getting into the STD, I guess, and come on. The entire outside of the light has all been Sikaflexed in, so I've tried running a knife around it, just can't get into it. So for me to properly repair all the holes and everything in the boot, it's gonna have to happen. That's a bit gross. There has been some quality Australian wildlife trapped in here. So you can certainly see this side wasn't as bad. You can sort of see it from around, you know, this sort of section here. This is where all the water was sort of collecting and being all weird. And this side here, even though it has a little bit more sort of up here, it's nowhere near as bad. So we'll be able to wild wheel these two down, get rid of all the rust, and then do like a rust prevention thing as well. So sort of hopefully stop it from forming before we get it all painted. And then, yeah, we can go from there. So the next step, I'm going to quickly get rid of all these rubber grommets out the way. So that way we can start to getting a wire wheel in here and grinding out, or just, yeah, getting all these little bits out. Okay, so originally I was just going to do the bottom of the boot, but not anymore. Tail lights are out. I'm going to be able to clean up some of this stuff and reapply all this Sikaflex here. That's bad. I don't know whether it's, oh, it is Sikaflex, isn't it? Yeah. Got it all the way down the bumper. I'm gonna quickly get some degreaser and get all that off. So another thing is, like, these interior pieces, they're all grey, they're all horrible. But I completely forgot I had some of this stuff. So this is just that vinyl and fabric to make stuff look black. And as it turns out, it makes this stuff look sick. So I'm gonna quickly do all this as well and make this all black. And then I'm pretty sure we might pick up tomorrow because I've just kind of hosed out the bay. Not the bay, the boot, so it's already looking a million times better. Good morning, guys. It is currently the next day and we are back working on the 33 Skyline, and so it is nice and bright and early. I think it's about 8 o'clock at the moment. I had a little bit of a late one because I was watching the F1 last night and it was good. But I tried that new sprint race. I don't know how they work around, you know, using that as your start position for the actual race, and the fact that there's no points involved. It's kind of a little bit weird, kind of a little bit unnecessary for the drivers to do it, but hey, it's pretty cool. We get to see one more race, so I'm pretty happy about that. I was chatting to a guy last night in regards to some R33 parts. He was wrecking an R33 Skyline, and it looks as though he's got a few parts that we're going to be grabbing. So the driver's door handle surround, as well as a fresh set of new tail lights, and also an X-Force exhaust system with 2 mufflers. So hopefully that should quieten this car down a whole lot more, which I'm super excited about. But either way, back into the boot this morning before I make too much noise around my nice little quiet area. I've just masked out some of the stuff in the boot, so I've just got 2 big cardboard templates of what's, I guess, supposed to look like inside the boot. We went to Bunnings last night, grabbed some big sheets of ply, like just some 3mm ply, because I knew this stuff was going to want to warp and wrap around the wheel and stuff, and I got heaps of carpet there as well, so it should look really nice inside the boot. But yeah, I sort of molded it around all the edges here and then all around here as well, because yeah, the one thing I'm really hoping is just being able to get the actual carpet in here and the ply in here. One of the things I think I might have to do is just chop it straight in half, and that way it can sort of bend and do weird things in the center, so we can actually get it inside. But I'm really hoping just it goes down and then we don't have to worry about it again. So I'm pretty sure we should be able to, like, slide it in both ends and then at least, you know, press it down, but I'm not quite sure. I'll work everything out a little bit later. So the next point of call is to go get some ply from outside, out the back of the shed down there, and we'll mask this out on some ply and then we'll cut it out. But I just want to wait a little bit before I cut anything out because it's nice and early. So I'll show you some other stuff that we got last night at Bunnings. So I got just some regular, like, wire wheel stuff. Also got some Kiwi grip, so we could put the fabric or the carpet that I have down onto the ply. Grab some of this. We have some very exciting stuff that you guys will probably see in the next video where we're going to be removing crap like that. We also have a fresh set of wire wheels. I've actually never had wire wheels before, but I grabbed some. They just fit into the drills, and so this is going to help us get rid of all of that rust, all that rust on the surface and stuff like that, so we can clean this stuff up. And then also, I grabbed myself a new set of 6.5-inch speakers. So I don't know if you guys saw in the last video, or when we were putting speakers back in the R33, I was drilling down through here because I was just texturing it to the top board that's in the R33, and I slipped with the drill bit and I went straight into the cone and I cracked the cone straight through. Luckily they were extremely old speakers, so I didn't really care too much, but I grabbed these for like 50 bucks. They were on special and they're a discontinued model, so I just grabbed them. Apparently these were like 100 and some bucks back in the day, so like fingers crossed these should be sweet. And I also grabbed some other stuff down at Super Cheap, some wax and grease remover. Also got some of this rust converter here as well, so that way we can just slap that on before we put this stuff on right here. So this is bed armor. So basically, if you guys have seen like a Raptor liner or anything along those lines that they put in truck and ute beds, this stuff is basically the same stuff. It has like a nice big thick rubbery texture. It'll stop any surface rust from accumulating on the surface, and then also it's waterproof. So basically, no matter where I sort of spray this, I think I'm gonna basically do the bottom half first and get that all cleaned up. I don't know whether I've got the sides or something along those lines just yet. There's not really much more to do. But basically, I want the whole thing to be bed lined. So this stuff here is like a 460 gram can, so we should be completely fine with that the whole way across. Now, another thing I'm very, very excited about is we grabbed some of this. So this is an automotive carpet, but it's like the thinnest stuff that I could find that has kind of like a texture to it. It's just regular. It was $10 cheaper than the automotive carpet I was going to get, and it's a little bit more robust. The automotive carpet that was there was kind of like already all frayed up and disgusting. So I grabbed this, and it was like, I think it was like $20 a meter or something along those lines. So I grabbed 2 meters of it. It's already 2 meters long, so I just grabbed 2 meters of it. And also grabbed 2 big, thick sheets of ply. Not crazy thick, but then just like 3 mil or something. So it'll be able to bend and do everything it needs to while it goes in the car. And yeah, this is pretty bendable as well. Like, so this should stick really nicely. It's not crazy thick, so no grass or anything should really stick in it. So it should look really nice inside the car. I completely forgot how janky these were sitting in the car. They literally just get held up like so. They still work and they still emit sound, but it's not very great. But yeah, you guys can see. That's exactly what I did. These things are so flimsy, they're so old, so I'm gonna change them out. Righto, so after the jigsaw had a fight with plywood, I ended up creating this. So as you guys can see, it sort of flows nicely around at the corners and everything, and there's still enough because I'm gonna like leave an overhang of the carpet as well, so that way it just sort of hangs down, and like, especially down here, I'm gonna leave probably like another 5 centimeters of carpet just hanging over the edge, so that way it can sort of like just float off and do everything it needs to. I just put this in for reference. You guys can see that it fits up really nicely across the bottom there. And yeah, so there's obviously there's no wheel in there at the moment, so I was going to dip down a little bit, but once the wheel goes in, it'll sort of sit a lot nicer just on the edges here, and that'll come up, and yeah, you guys kind of get me. Looks a hell of a lot nicer. It's going to look like an actual boot. So now the next step is I'm going to create a piece that goes from the very bottom corner there up. It's going to be a big rectangle piece and straight down. Because the side panels, which are these ones here, God, they look so good in black. The side panels here come around and they mount up. If you guys could imagine something along the lines of there. And so I just need a big back panel basically to go from the edge of this to the corner down there, all the way across and basically up the other side. So it's going to look really nice. Alright, so this next part is the fun bit. So I'm going to, because we're heading out for lunch today, I'm going to do the other little wood piece again this afternoon. So I've decided I'm going to try and bedline this before I go. So things like this I'm just going to have to leave in. Unfortunately I'll just bedline over that. I'll just make sure to pull it back and space it out so that way I can get around everything. But like, just going through everything and cleaning up all the surface rust with the drill. But yeah, it is like really helpful. Like, this was all orange this morning, and it just cleans it up so nice. And like, I'll show you like this little bit right here. So grab this, working a lot better than I thought. So grab this, honestly, it's just coming up like so much nicer. So yeah, just got to do that over basically the entire bit where all the surface rust is, and yeah, we'll get rid of all of that, and then we'll chuck some bed liner down. Alrighty, so finally finished up a lot of the cleaning and everything, and it looks so much better. Unfortunately with the sound deadening though, because I don't have any dry ice, it like comes off and it's all gooey, and I can't get it out. So luckily there's not any surface rust underneath it, which is what I'm happy about. It's always been covered. So I'm just going to wrap the line over it or around it, bed line around it, because nothing will stick to it. So unless I get dry ice, and that's the kind of like a little bit too far for me at the moment. So anyway, everything else is nice and cleaned out. So I'm gonna sort of set the camera up on the tripod there, and we'll do all this. But yeah, I'm really excited. So fingers crossed, everything just goes to plan. Let's set it up and let's do it. Rightio, so this stuff should be interesting. We'll see how we go. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this stuff is actually sick. Look at this! Has insane coverage, looks absolutely amazing. And I don't know how long it's gonna take to set, but like that's just, I mean, I barely used like, I don't know, 20% of the can, and that's already pretty decent coverage. So I think I might do 2 or 3 coats of it. But yeah, just look at it, like that's going to be a really nice fine line. It was a little bit messy to try and like spray around and try and keep within the lines, like the fact that I've just sort of done that, but it's honestly not too bad. It just sprays real thick, as you could imagine. But yeah, that's cool. So now just leave that to set, I could imagine, for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go over do a thick coat, and then probably another thick coat over top. I'm not really too stressed about runs or anything, as long as it kind of has the texture behind it. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. It looks so much better. Right out, guys, so it's currently, I dare say maybe about 5-6 hours later. We just took the RX-7 out for a beautiful drive down to Redcliffe and back, and yeah, Sarah's really starting to love this car. I don't film really much with it because like, it's that dream car of mine that I absolutely love every single experience. And when I film and stuff, I kind of feel like there's a sort of like stress about, you know, making sure that the video is fun and enjoyable, but yet kind of just cruising around like I want to. So, you know, on Sundays I get this out usually, and I just do like a massive big hour-long drive, and it is just perfection. So yeah, we took that out today to Redcliffe. Heaps of fun. Went to the Belvedere for lunch, and it was friggin' awesome. But I haven't seen the boot yet. Should be dry. Oh my god. Oh wow. That is so... Oh, that is so impressive. Oh. Whoa. I'm gonna show Sarah this. Sarah! Did you see it all rusted and stuff?
No, I actually didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, come and look at this. How cool is this stuff?
Oh, it's all dry.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I know, and it's like the ute liner. That's cool.
Who knew you could do things?
I don't know. Hey, you know what the best bit is?
Oh.
Wait for it. Oh, it's gonna be annoying, isn't it? Ugh.
Can I do it?
You can if you want to. Oh, I've made it so annoying, haven't I? Here you go, come do this bit. Look at that. Oh.
Opposite. Oh, that is so dissatisfying.
I can't see because of your hand.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Ready?
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, my back.
That is so... Oh yeah, sorry about that. Can you film it real quick?
Okay.
Thank you. How good is this? Oh, dude. I'm so impressed.
So am I.
That looks awesome. So like, this is like a rubberized sort of anti-rusting coating.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of going to help with just like helping it not rust anymore when water gets into it. and like when I chuck stuff in here, it shouldn't scratch up as easily. Oh, dude, this is beautiful.
Love it. Love your work, hon.
I get what you were saying before about the RX-7. We've just been talking about the RX-7, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of like, I understand now where you come from, like this car versus that car in the loudness level. Like they're both, this one's quieter, but it sounds like a pig, whereas that one there sounds refined.
Yeah. It's a graceful pig.
Even though it sounds like a Honda.
It's a graceful pig.
A graceful pig, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is so cool.
Love your lines.
Oh.
It kind of looks like you just poured a whole bunch of paint in, and then that was like the paint level. Like that was how much it rose
I
up
kind
to.
of get what you mean, but
Yeah. Here you go.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
Mint. That is so much better. Holy. Wow. All right. So time to put the spare wheel in, and then after that, I'm pretty sure it's all dry. This over here looks a little bit wet, but the wheel doesn't touch that, so it's fine. But it's all dry. So what we'll do now is we'll put the wheel in. I'll cut up the carpet, then we'll chuck that in, and we'll see what all the carpets look like, and then I can make a backboard, and we'll go from there. Should be really cool. And this right here is our new boot carpet. It looks so good. Man, this is gonna be so wicked. So, all right, we have that there. Let's put the spare tire in. We'll grab this, and we'll chuck that on top. We'll put all the carpet sort of around it. Actually, I might make up that second board really quickly, and then we'll do all that. I'm losing a little bit of light here, so I'll do it really quickly. Shouldn't be too long, but yeah, hell yeah, this is sick. So this is a new carpet, and once again, I did show you guys before, but I kind of like, I don't know if you guys can see, but I left a little bit loose on the edges, so I can kind of like go and sort of mold around all the edges and stuff, so it's not like a hard edge. Should look really nice. I really hope I never have to remove this. The boot floor is now in. That looks so sick. Alright, time to get all the edges up, and then we'll make that little backing plate. I don't even know if it needs a backing plate. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if it did. I don't know. I might do it tonight. I might do it tomorrow. I guess still got to put the tail lights in and stuff, and reseal all them. But man, that's cool. Alrighty, let's do all that. And that is with all the carpet in. Oh my god, this is looking sick. So the only issue I have now is the fact that this piece all here is all broken up and disgusting. So all I'm gonna do now is before I put any of this, like actually put it all in properly, put the tail lights back in. But may even be a potentially tomorrow job because I still want to pull apart the tail lights and do all that sort of stuff. So I'll figure all that out. But man, like, alright, so ignore the typical R33 cracked boot garnish. It's sitting in there as good as it can be right now. It's actually pretty sturdy for the fact that this one has no clips in it. Anyway, either way, this is probably the nicest thing that this R33 has had in a long time. You guys can see all the boot is now lined with this awesome black carpet. We did all of the grey carpet with this nice sort of black paint to help sort of increase that look a little bit. Man, it's just looking sexy and amazing, and I'm just so happy with it. So yeah, and also I told you guys a little bit before, the speakers are now in, although they're not great setup. They are definitely in, so yeah, we will work around getting a little bit of a nicer sort of setup. I might even see if I can get a new platform and raise them a little bit so they'll actually mount properly. But yeah, no, as for all this, it is looking absolutely awesome. So happy with it. Man, that is just so cool. I dig it. I thought whilst I'm here and everything's out, I may as well finish it off, do that one last panel, otherwise it's never going to happen. So we'll just send it. So I'm yet to figure out exactly how this is going to mount. At the moment I think it's just going to be tucked in, because it's bendy. I think it's going to be like tucked in and sort of bent around all the brackets and stuff, but we'll work it out. We'll chuck it in and we'll have a look. So I currently have this all made up. It's not the straight, it's at the very top there. The actual board down here, I completely forgot, it sort of angles down a little bit just with the dip. There's like a high point over here and then a low point down there, so everything's high apart from this right here. So I think eventually I'm going to get some like foam and stuff and raise that section up so that way this is all level. But that sort of sits nicely in there. If I was to put a little bit of like, just leave like a little bit overhanging at the very top there, it should be completely fine. And then the bottom I'm going to tuck underneath all the fabric and stuff. But you guys can see it's sort of like, it's slightly curved. The way that it sort of can sit in there nicely is it kind of, and I can take it out super easy, is like, this is just tucked in sort of behind here. As soon as I sort of slide it over this way, the whole thing can come out really quickly. So it's really, really simple to remove if I ever have like a flat battery or something. We can always just jump it straight through here, and yeah, that's completely fine. So I'll quickly go, I'll put some carpet on that, and yeah, it's gonna look so good. Hell yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I bought a bit much of this. I'm silly. Alright, let's cut some fabric and start gluing. Every single step I go further with this boot, it just makes it so much better. So obviously, like, there might be a way I can put some like holes and mounting hardware and stuff like that and actually do that properly, but to be honest, this is probably the best setup. This is already a million times better than what it was. I'm so happy with it. It looks so good. Needs a vacuum now. I feel bad for keeping it like this.
Yeah, and first of all, I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. But there's plenty different ways for you to go and get your props. You don't need to try pretending living lifestyles you ain't got. That's that shit I told myself when I was low and feeling lost. Learning lessons pay the cost while they watching you go.